Welcome back, everybody, to the NACE Collegiate Grand Finals. University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign up 1-0 on the Canadian squad of Carleton University.
An important game to win in this first best-of-3 set, considering the difference is 40,000 for first, 10,000 for second.
It's a massive amount. In game number 1, it was all Loki split push. That's all that happened if you missed game 1 was Meerkat split push for 45 minutes.
Hey, I'm trying to forget about that game and move on to game number 2, and I'm sure Carleton are trying to do the same. If picks and bans, if I don't see a Loki ban,
I need to see it.
I'm losing my mind.
I'm walking off the stage if they don't ban Loki.
No, please.
If they pick Loki, if University of Illinois gets Loki, I'm walking off. I'm sorry, Toli.
That's true. That's another one here. I don't expect that to be a case. Look at Meerkat.
He's so happy about it. He's like, guys, I got away with Loki for 45 minutes. Let's go.
Maybe that's why he's sitting in the middle seat of that team. Because it's like, oh, he's obviously playing middle. He's not going to pick Loki.
He's the center of attention. That's what it is.
That's the only
reason. There it is. Thank you, Carleton. Yes. The Loki ban comes through in game number 2. I don't even care that it's not a meta ban. We just need to stop seeing it.
And not only did that, Carleton also going for the first pick. So with the Loki ban, there's a lot of high priority picks available. Freya, Mercury, Erlang, Shen. Well, Freya's banned, but Mercury, Erlang, Shen, and the Pele available now.
Erlang, Shen, Mercules.
Remember
Deathbringer Hercules? You just go jungle Herc and you just build full damage and crit. You walk up, you drive strike, and you smack someone and they're dead.
I remember a match of the day mode where we had full gold, 5 Herculeses versus another 5 Herculeses. Yes. And it was arena, and then I built crit Hercules.
Yes.
And I got like 7 kills in 10 seconds. I was camping the fountain. I was just like one-shotting people after the pull.
That's how you do it. Even more fun, or I should say like the worst experience, is 5 and 5 Baron Somnies and Assault against each other.
No, I think the worst is when you're dealing with 5 Thoths, because they extend their range to the point that you can't even come up to them.
Or 5 Opwash too. That's
5 Opwashes too.
5 Opwash might be the worst of all
it's up
things
there.
Here. It's definitely in the top 5, and Odin is going to be one of the top 4 gods banned here by these 2 collegiate squads. $50,000 on the line. Carleton, the Canadian squad, on the back foot. The good old US of A, represented by University of Illinois, took game number 1, and now they've got their last ban.
They need to figure out what to ban. It's going to be the Athena, leaving the Mercury and the Pele, so that way if Carleton gets one,
and the Erlang,
UIUC gets another.
Erlang is available as well, and Carleton is going to grab that one for themselves. The illustrious warrior, Erlang Shen for Carleton.
Curious if UIUC is going to go for the Pele and the Mercury. Could run the Pele in the solo lane if they really want to. We haven't really seen that too often. It has more value, I believe, in the jungle to make that presence felt.
Well, they're just going to grab the Artio, a very safe pickup for themselves. The Odin is banned. We've seen that salfam can play it. We know that Kaaahn can play it. And once again, Berg going to be grabbing this Pele.
Does a lot of burst damage. I like the Artio pickup, having the control that you really need. Erlang Shen has a lot of control in its own right. 3 forms of CC between the rune on the javelin toss, between the knockup on the turtle form, also a taunt on the 9 turns blessing.
Option back over to Carleton. Got 2 picks to go for themselves, and they're going to grab Anhur, a flex pick for them. Tuxedo can play it in the mid, but Tourmby, more than anybody else, is probably wanting his hands on the lion.
I wasn't too impressed by UIUC playing the Anhur, but having it now with an Opwash for Carleton, if this is the comfort pick that they were talking about, I mean, he did it. It was mostly Meerkat.
It's gonna hurt.
It's definitely gonna hurt for Carleton.
Chernobog picked up here by the UIUC squad. That's looking more towards the season of Meerkat here, but still has option to go into that duo lane. But he really does work well as a great mid lane hunter.
I agree. It's being able to ping pong between the solo lane or the duo lane could be the factor that UIUC need to close out this best of 3 set, come out with that first place prize purse, but still 2 more picks for both of them as we approach the secondary ban phase. That Somni was annoying.
I mean, it almost killed Meerkat under the Phoenix. I think Meerkat was saying, guys, I almost died solo to a Meerkat, or to a Baron Somni.
Yeah,
Please just get it away.
LimeTime was doing a lot of work, even building the hide of Nemean Lion, really trying to make it difficult to split push, as he should. Now Artio, Pele, Chernobog for UIUC. They could have actually picked the Baron if they really wanted to.
It's not really up Kahn's playstyle. He really does like those more aggressive solo laners when he does play solo, but we did see him into the mid lane.
That's right.
I don't know if that role swap is going to hold true, recognizing that there's still potential for this Pele to go somewhere else. Carleton does ban away the Mercury.
Yeah, if Loki's not available, expect Meerkat to stick into that mid lane. Bans flying off your screen thus far. Mercury and Xingwei stripped away by Carleton.
Option now goes back over to UIUC Illinois. They got that game number 1 after 45 minutes of play. Tons of split pushing, but we don't have to worry so much about that anymore. They'll have 1 pick before it goes back to Carleton.
The last pick, they're probably going to save that solo lane counter pick matchup for Kaaahn if they really want to. Artio can easily control the dual lane, has a lot of damage with the abilities. You could transition that to...
Going for a
Kumbhakarna.
Heavy control comp here between Artio and the Kumbhakarna. Salfam has played it once or twice so far into the season. And he struggled a little bit on Artio, so I do like seeing this go back over to Kaaahn, who's had a lot of success with it in that solo lane. And this is a little bit more comfortable now for Salfam.
Flex picks between those two Guardians, honestly. It's hard to say where either of those two are going to go. I would, no, stop. Pele's on the table here. I don't expect Pele to go anywhere else. I'm not even going to respond.
Nah.
Not to the Pele ADC.
It worked once. It worked. It didn't do work, but it worked. Over to the opposite side, Kuzenbo, the king of the Kappas, locked in for the side of Carleton, and coupling that one up with the Terra for their final 2 gods.
Now, it's Kuzenbo is normally better against gods that has a lot of damage over time, against a double hunter composition, but it surprises me to see it with a Terra. The last pick still, it is going to be the Medusa, so Meerkat should be playing Medusa mid, I would assume.
That's a tough one to pick here. He has played a lot of Chernobog this season, so I wouldn't be surprised to see him go into the mid lane, but we have seen a lot of success out of mid Medusa in the past.
Well, the thing is, if you're going to get more farm, then you want to get the Medusa, that additional farm, simply because you have more ability damage. And if you're lacking the magical burst damage, that's where the Petrify comes in. So you need to have Transcendence finished. You need to have those stacks available as quickly as possible.
Does work very well as that mid lane mage for the team. A lot of ability damage, get that Transcendence online for her, and she really does start to chunk. And then not only that, if you can get a good Mez off there with the Kumbhakarna, they can't change their camera direction while Mez turn it up and set up right for that Petrify. This could be a dangerous matchup here for Carleton.
Carleton against the ropes, losing the first game. Need to win 2 in a row to claim that first place prize. Their composition looking rather balanced, I would say. They got the early game with Erlang, Shen, and the Anhur. They certainly got the late with the Outwash. They have the team finding potential control between the Kuzenbo, Terra, Guardian combination. UIUC on the flip side also have a good amount of control with the Kumbhakarna Artio, but it's more about the late game double hunter comp that I'm looking at, Chernobog and Medusa. I need to see Thorns, I need to see Hide of Nami in line for Carleton.
I want to see Thorns on the Kuzenbo just reflect a bunch of damage right back at these double hunters here. And the Pele even has a lot for it. But guys, the next game is just about to be underway. Game number 2 here for Carleton University and University of Illinois. It's the grand finals. Best of 3, who's gonna take it?
Well, UIUC with a 1-game lead have the momentum coming into this one. Carleton switching things up a little bit, and Meerkat will try to stick to the mid lane this time around with the Chernobog.
He's gonna try. We'll see how long that one lasts for him, but Kaaahn on his signature Artio, Berg on his signature Pele. This is just looking like a comfort draft for Illinois.
It definitely does feel that way. I need to see some more aggressive plays from Tourmby. The last game on the Hachiman was good. A lot of support there from his Guardian player, SuperChicken, playing the Terra yet again. But the Medusa could be in a little bit of trouble in the early game. I don't expect her to go toe-to-toe against an Anhur.
They do have a Terra in that dual lane. We know that Terra is a little bit weaker on the push potential, especially up against the Kumbhakarna. So it's going to be rather even in this lane, but you can't trade autos with Tourmby. As you can see, he's already popped them in. Good wall on the Pixie, a couple of punches as well. The poke game so far a little even, but going more slightly in favor of Carleton.
Looking at the potion situation and the start, you could tell Tourmby wants to rush that Transcendence. However, solo wing Pixie going for the double gloves rush. A lot of damage here onto this Kumbhakarna.
The stun's not going to connect on the salfam. but it doesn't matter because he's right down into the sleepy passive. The enhance come through, needs one more, and Tourmby again will take first blood. The Canadians on the board.
Faster than game number 1, but it was still a similar story where Carleton started off strong early but couldn't really maintain that early advantage. You need to see some purple/red buff invades if you're going to transition this kind of a lead, but the mini wave right next to them, they could have even ignored the mini wave to get the purple.
Ooh, David's got to run away. Run he goes as Berg comes through. Doesn't have that knock up for him. The outwash minions will be enough to back Berg off. That'll be that for them. The mid Harpies likely to split 1-1 for these teams.
Berg just kind of wasted time there not farming, considering he was only level 2. You're going for your projectiles that return back to you. You're going for your heat sink of a movement speed boost. And without the knock-up, I feel like there was no real kill potential, no real poke potential either.
David's going to go right on to Meerkat, but because Berg is there, he can't really do anything off of that one. Just trying to flex a little bit onto him, but it's not really going to do much. The knockup from Tourmby is good. Into the boxing match he goes, and the dash from Solo Wing Pixie will be enough to get him back to the tower.
This is the confidence Carleton need going into game number 2 to try to get back into this set. The purple buff was actually stripped away as it is onto SuperChicken, taking more experience away from this Kumbhakarna and Medusa.
Did Tuxedo not get his corpse explosion at level 3? It's looking like he only got his 1 and his 3 here, but he may have been using it off the screen. No, in fact, he did not. He put 2 points into the corpses. Very odd now, but salfam taking a lot of poke. Auto's coming through from Tourmby, not going to find that second one.
Now, the idea here behind not getting corpse explosion is you're consistently looking for poke by just throwing the corpses right on top of the opposition to pick them up and sustain your mana pool back up. It's a recyclable ability that reduces your cooldowns, that gives you back mana. So technically, as long as you get some MP5 via items, you can use that indefinitely.
Well, and you can see he has picked that up there with the Mage's Blessing, and the Lost Artifact will give him a good amount of MP5 to sustain in there. And plus picking them up, and now into the solo lane. Kaahn's one being turned onto, and David's here with LimeTime. Second kill of the game, once again going to the Carleton squad.
Carleton doing a good job getting the side lane kills, more importantly, but Tourmby trying to make something happen. A good route for SuperChicken, gonna force out the dash away, stun as well. Tourmby needs one more hit.
And he's gonna find it. Second kill for the Hunter of Carleton. And really, it's been looking like both of these games, dual lane pressure goes entirely over to Carleton because salfam is just playing so aggressively when he really can't.
Well, Carleton certainly can play aggressive with these picks. David on the Erlang Shen, less of a late game force compared to the Mercury that he was playing. Needs to get off to such a great start. LimeTime playing the Kuzenbo. He's just kind of chilling, waiting for his jungler to make the plays, and Tourmby on his signature Anhur, already off to a great start with these 2 kills. Can almost finish off the Transcendence now.
Well, and he did go for that Guardian's Blessing, knowing that he's not really going to be able to outpush this Artio early on. Instead, go for that extra gold per 5, while Kaaahn continues to push here, and he's been going this Mage's Blesses Artio a lot.
And it makes sense if you're trying to get off more damage. Going for an extra magical power spike gets more healing return off of your abilities. And now it's Berg's turn.
But Tuxedo immediately drops that ultimate, but Meerkat's through here onto the sky, goes into the wall. David is here to defend, but they're both so low on mana. They have no way to get out. The beads are not going to be enough to save you, my friend, and Berg will claim the first kill for Illinois.
North America now in the United States need to find more kills than just that one. It was Digger getting the chopping block, I think, for the majority of that first game, and without any sort of defense, or peels rather, he's going to have a similar effect in game 2.
It was good recognition by University of Illinois, seeing that both of them don't have their mana. He used the taunt, his ultimate, for the last expenditure of his mana for David, and Diggertuxedo had none in that. As soon as the ult was dropped, that was it for him. Great play by them to pick up that first kill.
Tourmby finishing off the boost here. Could look for an easy aggressive play. Having Desert's Fury available, doesn't have to worry about the threat of the Medusa Petrify or the epic uppercut out of the Kumbhakarna.
salfam is just constantly being bullied here in this duo lane. And for good reason. You want to keep this Kumbhakarna down because a non-tanky Kumbhakarna isn't going to do much when you get into these team fights. The blink in onto Meerkat. I don't think he's got his dash available to him. He's got nowhere to go. And Tuxedo says, thank you, sir. That one is mine.
Getting revenge onto the mid Chernobog, and that's going to shut him down for a moment. Good stun coming out of Tourmby. Another stun from SuperChicken, but safe under their own tower. Keep in mind that Desert Fury is available. Tourmby could commit at any given moment. Medusa has to be mindful of that and save the dash.
And Pixie actually went for the Devourer's Gauntlets instead of the Transcendence that we normally would see on this Medusa, wanting for the boxing more. The ultimate coming out of Tourmby is doing so much damage. Knocked up into the sky. I don't think the Petrified dealt the damage. Earth and Fury just to make sure that Tourmby can stay alive in a perfect impale.
Oh, Meerkat! Meerkat is going in! He's looking for the kill. Onto Tourmby, gets off the dash. Berg with the last hit.
And SuperChicken has nothing to do but run away from it. 3 strong from Illinois. Turn that fight around back in their favor.
SuperChicken gonna soak up all this farm on his own side of the map. Purple buff not available to strip away, so Carleton on the defensive side now. Finally, that Tourmby has died. That's gonna slow down the progress of that Transcendence rush he wanted.
Tuxedo's got vision there onto Berg, recognizing he's trying to go for those harpies, but unfortunately the corpse just a little too far away, unable to find that one, and Berg will clean out the minion wave under the tower.
And unfortunately, out of Carleton there, the fact that they killed Meerkat was all fine and dandy, but still having the ultimate after the respawn allowed him to clean up Tourmby to put him into the grave.
And that's kind of one of the things that we normally see out of something like in Athena. LimeTime taking a lot. The Bear Claw is good. The knock-up from the Watery Grave will be enough to push Kaaahn. But it's something similar that we see with Athena. If you either kill her too early or don't kill her, she goes back. And with that ult, can get right back in the fight.
They got to respect the global pressure when making any offensive plays in these side lanes. The mid Chernobog is trying to get that farm to get a Transcendence in his own right. Berg has definitely been making some plays with already 2 kills right under his belt.
David is 2 levels down in this jungle. He's going to get the pin, going on to the Mink farm, but Berg's going to use his ult and get out. The corpse not enough, and a good body block of those ones will make sure that the jungler for Illinois get back out. But now salfam rotating over here, level 6 on this Kumbhakarna.
Berg barely able to slip on by, using that ultimate to get into the safety of his tier 1 tower. 2-level lead above David. That's been making plays in his own side of the map, having 2 assists. Being able to kill out Kaaahn was rather impressive.
Brawler's beat stick once again from Berg picked up here. And again, with the Terra, with the Opwash, a very smart item to pick up here for them. Red buff will go over to Carleton. The mid Harpies going over to Illinois. SuperChicken's going to get the dash route onto salfam, but he's the only one there. Needs to be a little more careful.
I think he's going to be A-okay, but jumping over is Tourmby. Doesn't get the stun effect against the pillar. A double taunt out of David. He's looking for blood.
Berg is just gone. Where did you go? The Opwash swinging for the fences and will get the kill onto him.
Berg dead for 20 seconds. 5-on-4 advantage for the Canadians. Transitioning over to the left side of the map. Looking for the goal. Fury Diggertuxedo has a lot of burst damage with a corpse explosion.
Just going to keep stacking those ones up. He's already got 2 set up. salfam so far away. There's the 3rd corpse. And the Gold Fury going the way of Carleton University. That'll be their first one of the game. Again, very early. Last game, 8 minutes. Now 9 minutes.
9 minutes into the game. I think this is the biggest lead Carleton has had in the entire set, but the question is, can they build off of this lead? Can they get the next goal Fury coming up? Because if you allow UIUC to get into that late game form, the double hunters could be an issue.
This has been one of the problems of Carleton in the season is they need their early snowball to really build up and keep going. Otherwise, when the late game comes, you saw that they were struggling in those team fights. They need to get that lead because Illinois, they may not have had the better team composition last game, but they just had the better overall late game potential with their players.
The team fights did not favor Carleton. They lost 2 separate 5-on-4s in the game number 1 where they tried to siege a middle Phoenix. They tried to go for a team fight around the Pyromancer, getting bit by Meerkat's Loki, having to back to defend that Titan room. It was a sloppy engage, and Carleton looking to clean it up now. They're getting the early skirmish advantages, but once the 5-on-5s happen, If they don't win that, they're not going to win the set.
They've got to be careful in these ones. Last time we saw a lot of split decision-making in those team fights, opting for one target, swapping to another, but they're looking for LimeTime. Under half HP with barely any left to go. Watery Grave is enough to keep him for now, but the Volcanic Fury there from Berg will be enough to clean him up.
You can tell Berg didn't want to use that Volcanic Fury, but at that point, there's no way you allow the Kuzenbo any sort of relief. Putting the turtle back into the water, but putting the snake back into the grave cannot connect on the last couple of Desert Fury shots.
2 more of those spears and he would have had that kill. He would have at least dove for it if he didn't have the damage to kill onto that one. But fortunately for soloing Pixie, he will live for now. And he is getting that lifesteal back up on the flip side, Transcendence. But now David in trouble. He's going to get the 2-man taunt. But there was nothing for him to heal back up because his health bar is gone.
It takes about 4 seconds to get that healing back. And he was blown up in less than 1 second. Berg now getting his 3rd kill, 1 assist. Gold Fury not due to respawn for another 2.5 minutes. 5-on-4 advantage for 10 seconds. Surprised to see UIUC not group up for at least a tier 1 tower.
11.5 minutes in here. We see the gold lead is only about 1,000 gold. They had 2,000, and then it's already dropped back down.
But it's the experience advantage that's going to start favoring UIUC in the jungle specifically. Berg with a 2-level lead here. Level 11 versus the level 10 now just hitting was David, and you can expect Berg to go for the blink and extend that advantage further.
And we saw this last game where David may have gotten 1 or 2 good kills or assists early on, but then he was just not really doing much. He was constantly behind his jungler. His opposition was always been ahead of him, and he's been playing both of these games from behind.
There's no problem at all as long as the late game team fights favor out the US8 team. Already hitting level 12, goes for the Aegis actually, as opposed to the blink. A little worried about all the burst damage potential from Diggertuxedo, so expect some Volcanic Fury engagements, baiting of the ultimate, and resets with the Aegis.
I think he's having nightmares of what happened to him in the mid lane earlier. He's like, guys, I need that Aegis. I can't be your main initiator this time around. We saw him lose over half of his health to just 1 corpse explosion combo. But now here, grouping up into the mid lane is Carleton, trying to get something going for themselves, but it's 3v3 here. No one's making a move.
Not quite yet. In the solo lane, both of them just kind of tickling each other with the pillows that they basically had for the entire game. That's what you're expecting between 2 Guardians, just smacking each other outright with the pillows. But in the mid lane, still waiting for a little bit of action to pop off as the Gold Fury is due to respawn in 1 minute's time. More of a stacking race also yet again here between these hunters, all 3 of them.
Well, ultimate here from Berg right on the Tourmby. He's going to jump away, but the movement speed is good enough, and here comes Meerkat, but it doesn't matter because Berg is going to clean it up all on his own.
If you don't have the vision around the Gold Fury, assume the jungler is right around the corner, and even just for good measure, Meerkat using that Living Nightmare to get a little bit closer.
Pyromancer going to be going the way of Carleton, unless salfam can pull off a miracle and somehow teleport into the middle of it, which he's not going to be able to this time. But 4 players from Illinois grouping up at this mid tower. It's only SuperChicken here. Everybody else went back to base. He's all alone, knocked up under. The Earth and Fury is not enough to save him, and Meerkat will drop him.
UIUC using their player advantage to push an objective. Carleton abusing the missed position of UIUC originally by sneaking a Pyromancer objective, but that was only 500 gold, so UIUC answering in kind with 500 of their own in the form of a tier 1 middle tower.
This experience lead is really starting to show for this Illinois squad. Still 2 levels up is Berg, and he has that 2nd relic. Meanwhile, David is trying to get to that level 12 mark to pick up a relic of his own. Only has the blink, doesn't have a defensive option yet.
The blink is gonna need to be fruitful, but yes, without any sort of Mad Guy's Cloak purification beads, any form of CC will disrupt that turtle escape, and he's gonna be a sitting duck instead.
Tourmby going for the last hits on this minion wave, but that's only to bait it out here because David is here. The ultimate doesn't matter because of the CC immunity. David and Tourmby will team up. Meerkat's in the wings. He's gonna drop right down onto Tourmby, dropping the damage on. Tourmby's falling low, but the Aegis is keeping him alive. The walls are not enough. Berg will drop him down. David's getting low. Berg with the double kill. Up in the sky you go, and down to the grave. SuperChicken will fall. Meerkat gets the kill.
That's 3 dead members out of Carleton. UIUC with full control of any side of the map that they want. They will commit No, they're not going to commit to the tier 1 tower on the left side. Gold Fury has respawned. Kaaahn doing a good job keeping LimeTime preoccupied from rotating around. And this is going to be a free Gold Fury. Last time it was Carleton, unless Digger can come in and steal it.
Don't ever say it's free when there is an opwash here. He's going to drop the ult. It is within range of the Gold Fury. They will reset it temporarily. It's being reset constantly, and Carleton's going to get it because they didn't reset it.
Are you kidding me?
Diggertuxedo grabs it. He will fall. But again, another objective going the opposite way.
You can tell the frustration in Meerkat's face after giving up that Gold Fury. There was no reason to give up that Gold Fury. Zoning away was Berg. That is not the player that needs to zone. But granted, if you're going to have Kumbhakarna, salfam on it, trying to hold the aggro of the Gold Fury, you need to make a decision, get off of it and blow up the outwash or reset it completely.
Well, what happened from what it looks like there was that Diggertuxedo, recognizing they tried to reset, walked back into the Gold Fury pit to keep it back alive there, making sure that they couldn't reset. So he was more than willing to trade his life away to grab that objective.
And despite having the kill lead, it's the goal lead going the opposite way. Carleton still able to maintain it for now, but the experience lead going the way of the Chaos side quite heavily. Most of it is alongside the jungle.
But also 2 levels with the support. Salfam's up level 12 now, level 11. So it's only about a 1.5 lead there. SuperChicken making his way back around, and we'll put that purple buff around his waist. Now with the red buff spawn, Berg's looking for something, but he sees 3, and Tourmby spots him.
Not really much to do on the left side of the map now that Gold Fury is down. 3.5 more minutes on that side to make any sort of plays. Pyromancer's still down as well. A little bit too early to go for the Fire Giant, so you're using this opportunity to plant some vision around the side of the map and look for any stragglers that you can.
And I like what Kaaahn has been doing this whole game, keeping LimeTime in lane. He recognizes my team has the better 4v4 right now. If I keep them alive, Tourmby had no chance to get out of that one. Couldn't even jump away.
Berg still making the plays on every which way. Meerkat gonna beast and try to duck, dodge, dip, weave right under that tower. Will survive for the moment. Carleton not able to push and siege that tier 1 tower, but it's UIUC going for a tier 2 on the left.
Teleports coming out from the Carleton squad. It's gonna be in time to at least get there, but not in time to save it. LimeTime's gonna shove Berg, but that might be a bit of his own death. He has the watery grave, pops the thorns. That's ult, teleport, and everything else. But Kaaahn finds Tuxedo into the mid lane. Up in the sky goes David, but he's got the turtle to get out.
And UIUC is making the plays happen everywhere after getting that tier 2 tower, finding another pick into the middle lane, even pinging out where LimeTime is backing, and they're collapsing in the tier 2 mid. This time around here, J-Mac, UIUC doing a good job collecting their efforts to knock out these objectives.
It's the slow bleed here from Illinois. Couple of kills here. Now we take a tower. Take a tower, get a kill over here. They're trying to get something onto Kaaahn, but he's sitting at half HP. He's got the thorns. They have to jump away. They can't commit onto him, and SuperChicken is left hung to dry. Kaaahn will pick him up.
Between a rock and a hard place, this Terra fell to the ground, not having too much mana to make any plays happen. Now, in a 5-on-4 advantage for 20 seconds, you could tell UIUC really want to extend their lead with this tier 2 middle tower.
Look at the ward here by the speed buff for UIUC. They're making sure they can't allow David to pincer maneuver them at that tier 2. Tier 2 will still stand. Pyromancer is back up, and that's where Illinois have set their sights.
SuperChicken still dead, now respawning. Gonna take a while to get into the action, so it's still technically 5-on-4, confirming the objective, even looking for a little bit more poke, but difficult to go past that obelisk. The sands and the slows, it's not something UIUC wants to aggress on, so instead backing and resetting. Gold Fury coming up soon.
You cannot fight into the Anhur pillar. It's just a massive amount of damage that will swing back your way, and it's never a fun time when you're slowed to eternity.
No, definitely not, unless you have sprint available. Salfam does have that as his second relic, just now hitting level 12. SuperChicken still hasn't back to base after the respawn. Needs to worry about getting that relic before the next big team fight.
Kaaahn now 2 levels up on this Artio solo over LimeTime. He's been constantly putting this poke onto it. See the cripple field keeping him from dashing away, but finally will be able to get out of range and go back. If you look at these 2 squads here, it used to be almost 3,000 gold in favor of Carleton, but that's already swung right back into Illinois' favor. 3,500 gold, but totally 10 1,000 experience.
Everyone has a lead from UIUC minus the Hunter that just now hit level 16. Tourmby had the experience lead for a majority of the game. Keep in mind, he was sitting at 2-0 at the beginning of this game, making some great early game pressure, but the rotations from Berg on this Pele changed the tides of tables.
Oh, Tourmby, my friend, this is not where you want to be. Berg going right onto him, the Desert Fury to return fire, and the Outwash ultimate right on top. The crypts have been emptied, and UIUC says, hey, that's a win for us. We're just going to back out because look how many relics out of Carleton they got.
Middle tower's very low, but UIUC doesn't want to aggress any further. They're going for the safer option of this Gold Fury, but remember what happened last time. Digger stole it away, but I don't think Carleton are close enough to do it.
No way this time. UIUC able to zone them out. Kaaahn doing a perfect job keeping the tanks back. Berg taking a little more poke than he wanted to from David, but he'll be able to get back to his tower. As a consolation prize, they get to kill the minions that follow them in the jungle.
Just trying to get any gold or experience they can to extend their lead in the late game. 21 minutes into this game, 13-6. The USA team trying to close this out and confirm the first place $40,000 prize.
Saw the little statue there in the duel lane, right? Did they just leave it there, or do they actually kill it off? I mean, I say you leave it there as a nice little prize.
It's a little pendant and memorabilia, you know, why not?
Of that time that we didn't actually solo you, but we're going to call it because my ult shows that you're still there, see? Medusa ult is what kills that one, so all he's going to say is, hey, that was my kill.
That's true. You got to immortalize yourself somehow, right? So why not in the form of a statue?
Leave it. Don't do it, Tourmby. Leave it there. All right, he's gonna leave it there. What if he just goes and stares at it? Just like stares into its soul like...
Selfie!
There you go.
Take a picture.
No, come on, Tourmby, come on, man. Don't take it away. You're no fun. SuperChicken taking a lot of poke here on this right side by the Fire Giant pit. He's got that monolith to heal himself back out.
Looking for something on the right side of the map, but the double hunters from UIUC are on the kind of mid/left portion. Looking for the mid Harpies while there's still some action happening on the right side. But look how much, are you kidding me?
How much damage is Kaaahn doing? Look at all of this damage back to it. The empty the crypts is good. They zone them away. But look at Kaahn's build. He's got Soul Reaver. He's got Stone of Binding. He's got so much damage built up.
That's right. The penetration from the Void Stone and the Mad Guy's boots. Tourmby in a 1v1. Actually kind of winning it for the most part, but both ultimates available. UIUC get the tier 2 mid tower. David not able to hold that one. Tier 1 falls on the left. It was Soloing not able to hold that one. Fire Giant should be looked at if you're UIUC.
Everybody's spread out here on UIUC. Got a few members going left, a few minutes going right. In fact, Meerkat is looking for his opportunity onto Tourmby, looking to cut off the path here. But unfortunately, Diggertuxedo is so low here against Kaaahn. There's nothing that he can do. Tourmby's trying to back. Meerkat hasn't spotted him out.
Oh, he wants it.
Pixie's trying for it. He's going to dash through. Diggertuxedo is still alive. Kahn's not able to get the final shot. LimeTime will drop him, but soloing Pixie will find Tourmby.
Salfam was thinking about going in, but gonna think otherwise. And a lot of laughs and smiles from the player cams after that failed 1v3. I don't blame him. Tourmby falling on the left, but Meerkat is not done. It doesn't matter if he's playing Loki or Chernobog. He's looking for the split push.
All right, but Tuxedo is right here ready to go for it. He's going to throw out the fleeting breath just to deter Meerkat. Tell him, shoo, shoo, get away from my Phoenix. We're not having this again.
Looking for SuperChicken. Good route from Salfam.
Ooh,
messing out the dash perfectly.
Up into the air he goes. Barely gonna get knocked up by that one from Berg. The damage is too much. The slows are too great. And soloing Pixie will find his third kill.
Kaaahn about to respawn. It will be a 5-on-4 once that happens, as Tourmby's due to respawn momentarily. Looking to start up the Fire Giant, soloing Pixie on the Medusa, level 19.
No one's coming.
Not the most damage, but Meerkat even more.
Here. No one's here. No one from Carleton is recognizing this. The Fire Giant is going down. What are you guys doing? Illinois just grabs a free FG.
The Canadians didn't have the vision that they needed. Actually, they did. It was right in the middle of everyone, but nobody close enough. Diggertuxedo needed to sit in that left side Phoenix, making sure Meerkat wouldn't get that kind of objective, and that allowed for a free Fire Giant.
The level 20s are coming on the board, all on the side of Illinois. Only Salfam has not hit that mark, but it won't be till much later until we see that support hit it. Berg's trying to go for the sneaky play here on a Tourmby. He's going to get the knockup. It's going to be good. That's over half his health. The egg is too late out of Tourmby. One more Pyroclast, trying to get him with the Desert Fury, dancing around the pillar, but it's just not enough. Berg's going to get the solo kill.
Ring around the rosy, and down goes the posies. Tourmby coming back up in 50 seconds. keeping the statue up alive just for good measure. That left side Phoenix is very vulnerable, and UIUC with Fire Giant should be able to secure that one.
Remember your mistakes here, Tourmby. There's a statue to commemorate it once again. That was from the previous fight, the little 2v1 scuffle on that left side where we saw the action on the right hand. But again, pushing up onto this Phoenix, Meerkat and Berg leading the charge.
Fire Giant still around their waist for another 2.5 minutes. Meerkat, front line, Chernobog there, no problem for him, as it's only David right in front of his face. The rest of Carleton needs to get closer if they want to hold on to this left side Phoenix.
Four going straight into it. LimeTime's here, but the Phoenix is already so tanky. The taunt comes through from the ultimate, but up into the sky goes the Kuzenbo. The crypts have been emptied. Diggertuxedo trying to run away with David, but David can't get it out. LimeTime's gonna find Meerkat falling down. Superchicken will stun out Berg, but he's all alone versus two, and the bear will grab him.
Kaaahn teleporting back in, looking for any kind of other kills here. 2 for 1 thus far, but looking for LimeTime very low. A great defensive measure from Tourmby, but now they're isolating the bear in a 1v2. Kaaahn is allowing the rest of his teammates to get closer, but they're just too far away.
The healing is too good from this Artio. It does scale off with that damage, and with how much that Kaaahn is built, he probably could have 1v1'd against Tourmby in there, but once the second teammate showed up, he had to dip out of that.
I mean, he almost 1v3'd earlier on. Diggertuxedo had to use Aegis. They had to use Shell to save his life, and still, he almost found the kill. So the threat of Kaaahn on the Artio, a very offensive build with Soul Reaver, Stone Up Binding, Void Stone, Pen Boots. You got to respect the damage.
I want to see another initiation here from Illinois. All but one relic is down on the side of UIUC, but at the flip side here, it's only the defensive relics for the mid laner and one set of beads. Carleton, they just can't push forward. This Fire Giant is doing so much work for him. No towers left on the map, and a Phoenix down.
Well, 12,500 gold for the moment, as we're seeing Solo, Wing Pixie secure themselves their second gold Fury of the game. Carleton with the previous 2. It's about to be 14,500 after that one.
Going for the attack speed penetration option, we've been seeing a lot more of the crit recently, but with this Medusa looking to just do more ability damage and supplement those in-hands as well.
Chin size is never a bad thing against tanky targets. It's all about preference of play style, and knowing Kaaahn has the damage, you don't necessarily have to go for a big burst. It's more about the percentage.
And again, about the same mark that we were last time. We're back to this base sitting here from Carleton. But the problem is they're so far down now instead of ahead or even like they were. Looking at the gold here, it's 14,500 gold, 25,000 experience, and a lot of that is still relevant experience lead.
The world is UIUC's oysters in the second game of the NAC Finals, trying to secure this $40,000 prize pool championship. I think that Carleton need to really hold on much harder than they did in the first game to keep their hopes alive, because not only do they have to win this game, J-Mac, but they have to continue for game number 3.
They've got to get a couple of good team fights here in order to swing this back their way, but there's still 5 towers on the map for UIUC. Winning 1 fight is not enough. I don't even know if winning 2 fights is going to be enough.
It's going to be a big mountain of a hill to climb for the Canadians. UIUC kind of waiting for this next Fire Giant that's due to respawn in 30 seconds before going for any additional Phoenixes. They got the one on the left-hand side exposed in the Titan, but they didn't really chip away at the Titan health, so there's no rush for them quite yet.
Berg just going to walk up, steal away the speed buff, and go back to the side of his map as UIUC sets up for this Fire Giant spawning here in another 12 seconds. Pyromancer will be short to follow with it. They can drop both of those objectives very easily.
18-8, just kind of crossing their T's, dotting their I's before going for the last Titan push. It will be the enhanced Fire Giant respawning after the 25-minute mark, increasing that structure damage from 20 all the way up to 30%, making these double hunters melt the Phoenixes even faster.
It is a beeline to this mid lane. UIUC, they're looking to end this game on this final push. That left Phoenix is about to respawn. If I'm them, I'm sending just one player over. I'm sending Meerkat because he can ult right back into the fight.
True, that's very true. He does have the global pressure, so having him split push makes a little bit more sense than having the Loki split push, and that is going to be a big threat, knowing Meerkat also has the red buff, but instead, it's going to be Berg all the way on the right side, isolating out SuperChicken.
Well, well. That Phoenix has respawned. It's sitting very low, but Berg is just doing so much. The stun is going to be good. Earth and Fury for the solo attempt onto it, but Berg's going to grab it no matter what. He doesn't care. The knockup is good. He's doing so much damage back to SuperChicken. He's bursting through the shell. SuperChicken soloed by Berg. The left Phoenix still stands. Up into the air goes LimeTime, but right back to the ground.
Berg underneath us, looking for it. Up in the sky is Meerkat. Berg knocking up David, getting taunted back in. Meerkat underneath, dashes it. Berg gets his second kill of the engagement.
And LimeTime using that watery grave. He's going to get out. Tourmby and Tuxedo all alone here at this Phoenix. Tourmby's going to jump away. Kaann's going to chase him down with Berg, but it doesn't matter. The Bear Claw is good. Only Tuxedo and LimeTime live, and it's not even Tuxedo as he stands realizing there's nothing left he can do. LimeTime, the last defense, the Kuzenbo solo. It's him against the world, but the world is going to win, and Meerkat and the boys bring the USA the title.
Give a hand to your USA college representatives, University of Illinois, winning the $40,000 purse.
Meerkat versus the world, but Meerkat wins.
Yep.
Bringing home the title to USA and the $40,000 prize for their university. Illinois Urbana-Champaign coming up big with the 2-0 over Carleton.
Still going undefeated. They came in here at 10-0. Carleton was 15-2, having to battle their way through the lower bracket after losing in the quarterfinals. So still doing a lot of good things was Carleton, but just couldn't handle Illinois today.
And look at that beautiful trophy for the boys. The very first NACE Collegiate Smite champions. Congratulations once again, Meerkat and UIUC. All these players really showing up. And even though Pixie and salfam had so much struggle early, they came back in big in those mid to late game fights.
I was really impressed by how chaotic Illinois made it for Carleton. And Carleton had a great start in that second game. Tourmby on the Anhur was getting off to a great start, but then Berg on the Pele, making sure that he was going to get shut down.
Berg really coming in big, getting, I think, 3 of the kills in that last fight, or at least getting 2 and helping to secure those third and fourth ones for him. But you see there in this best of 3, 2-0 for Illinois, the beautiful, beautiful trophy for him.
That's right. Berg was able to kind of isolate SuperChicken. Whenever you can have a Terra focus you out in the 1v1, Berg forcing out even that Earth and Fury made the rest of the 4-on-4 Phoenix siege a lot easier, because after winning it, killing him, getting the Phoenix, it became a 5-on-4 on the left-hand side, and the rest of the team fight was just a cakewalk.
I mean, Kaaahn had an absurd amount of damage onto that Artio. Not very conventional that we see. Usually it's more of the tanky Artios, but coming in so big, providing a ton of damage and control for his team in these fights. Kaaahn really coming up big for his team.
I mean, let's break it down. It was a Soul Reaver, Stone of Binding, Void Stone, and the Mad Guy's boots. So you're talking about one damaging Artio. Had a great lead, a great start to the point where he was trying to 1v3 Diggertuxedo. Yeah, he almost found the kill. He forced out an Aegis. He forced out a Shell as well. My man's was diving all the backlines.
That's all that matters for him. Berg coming in, massive first team. Kaaahn coming in big. Obviously, everybody knows the man, Meerkat, coming up strong. The Loki split push game 1 won it. The Chernobog split push somewhat in game 2 helped them out onto that one. Meerkat, in true ranked fashion, coming in for his team and helping win and bring the title to the United States of America. Canada will fall, and your first NACE champions are UIUC. We're going to cut it to a very short break, and we will be right back. We're back with University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign, your NACE Grand Champions for their first season. Guys, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great.
Feels amazing.
We're all feeling great. Everybody's feeling great.
All right, so why did you have to do it to him in game number 1? We saw the Loki. We thought, where is this going? But then we remember there's Meerkat.
It's a god that I think's really, really good in levels where everybody's not as organized, and that really is NACE. And I play it a ton, so I thought we could just whip it out, and I think it'd give us a free game for us, and also just kind of mess with their picks and bans the rest of the time, because they kind of had the Loki in the head, and they didn't really know how we would play straight up after that. So we basically had like one game playing straight up and one game kind of a cheese strat, and it worked. So I'm happy.
Well, in your first season, you guys go undefeated, 12-0 throughout the entire bracket stage. I mean, how does it feel going undefeated?
Feels really good. Feels really good. There's definitely some close ones for sure. We had some times, but everybody on the team's been great. everybody's improved throughout the year, and I mean, everybody just stepped up this night. Everybody played great. Like, we had some struggles early at sometimes, but we all brought it back. There was great ults by everyone, great plays by everyone. I'm so excited. I can't talk. Yeah.
So in that first game, it really looked like y'all were kind of struggling to break the base in those 35, 40-minute matchups there. I mean, what was going through your mind? Was it we need to have one person get that pick? I mean, who was the person y'all were really kind of designated to be that pick god?
It's just like, they had Baron Allplush, which is absolutely horrible to siege into, and they got smart and actually sent the Baron to defend the Loki, and I just can't do anything into the Baron. I kind of just stand there and clear the wave, as you probably saw like 15 times over. And Baron Allplush is horrible to siege into, so that was really rough for us. So basically, I mean, we just got lucky with that. We won a 4v5 fight while I was splitting mid, and we just got lucky there, and that shouldn't have happened, but we did. There really wasn't anybody to pick. I think we were kind of just, our minds were just like, we're just sitting here. And I don't know what we're gonna do for,
So how many textbooks does that $40,000 buy for you guys? Like 4 maybe?
Yeah, maybe on a good day.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you are the first collegiate championships here for the NAC League, taking down Carleton University, the United States champions here for North America. Congratulations, guys, and hopefully we'll see you guys back next season.
Thank you.
Thank you.